Hey y'all, Snowman here. This one's on me because when my wife and daughter went off to work, instead of getting up, getting coffee, and going about my day, getting in here in studio because I have a 2 hour rule, I fell back to sleep. That sickening thud you heard in the region, across the nation, around the world. Yeah, that was me.
Oops.
That was me going splat right back in bed. I missed my 9 o'clock alarm. And the next thing I knew, it was 10:30 and I'm scrambling. But I got my water here. I got my best friend Victor here. So let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh yeah! The girls are out of the house at work, so I can completely raise hell now. Good morning. Welcome to the tripped out random Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning, the midday sports talk, Sports-tacular. Glad to have y'all with us. Victor Locke is here. The rest of the boys are taking the week off. They'll be back next week. And as you know, this first hour is powered by Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless.
Yes, indeed.
Victor Locke in Chicago. How are you, my man?
I'm doing all right, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I want to welcome those of you listening on WSMM down in Louisville, WJKS out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and WBWS based in my hometown of Chicago. And my partner, Victor Locke, is the GM of that station. You know, Harrison Barnes had a buzzer beater to beat the Warriors last night, and now the Warriors are in the play-in round. I was all sorts of bad, but then I woke up and thought about it. They did this to themselves.
Right.
They had a 9-point lead after one, trailed by 4 at halftime. They had a 12-point lead after 3, and they choked. I'm looking in this camera, and I'm saying the truth. You know, something people need to do on sports talk shows, but don't. The Warriors choked last night. And they deserve to be in the 7th spot. Should they be locked in there? They should be in the. They deserve to be in the playing round because there are games that they should have won but didn't. 2 of them against the Spurs. There were games that they lost that games that they won that they shouldn't have won. There were 2 against the Spurs that they should have won, and then Christmas night against the Lakers.
Yep.
So, Warriors, I love you, but you did this to yourself.
But you guys choked.
They choked. They're still in the playoff hunt. Don't get it twisted.
And what makes it worse is that the Lakers beat the Mavs 112-97.
So now the lead is at 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way the Warriors can win the Pacific Division title, because if they win the last 2 and the Lakers lose out, the Lakers will still win the Pacific Division because of head-to-head.
Right, head-to-head, yeah.
So last night was a game the Warriors absolutely had to have. They had to have it, and they choked it away. Now, all this work that they put in with Jimmy Butler on the squad will be for naught.
It puts them in the play-in, but it's
here's the thing. They can still get back into the 6th seed because they trailed Memphis by only a half a game.
Right.
All right. I believe can you give me this? Can you give me the schedule, please? Don't do the scores because the last one's going to piss me off even more. But can you get me the schedule
for today's games?
For today.
For today's games, we got the New York starting at 6:00. We got the New York Knicks taking on the Detroit Pistons in the Motor City. The Cleveland Cavaliers will be taking on the Indiana Pacers. We talked about them Pacers.
Watch them Pacers.
At 6:30, the Atlanta Hawks will take on the Brooklyn Nets, the Shadow Realm group, at 6:30. That's inside the Barclays Center. The NOLA Pelicans take on the Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee. That's at 7. And at 8:30, the Timberwolves will be taking on the Memphis Grizzlies.
Now I got to cheer for the Timberwolves.
Right.
Because if the Grizzlies lose, the Warriors hop back into the 6th spot.
Yes.
What I'm still pleased about is all the work the Warriors have put in to climb from the 11th place and out of the playoff picture to in the playoff picture and on the cusp of getting a week off.
Well, I'll take this. The Spurs are the team. The Spurs are that team that you can't just doubt.
And the Spurs are going to
and
the Spurs are going to be the team to watch next year. Mark my words. When De'Aaron Fox gets healthy and when Wembanyama comes back, and I'll say it again. I made a trip to Indianapolis last year and had the absolute joy to see Victor Wembanyama play.
The only game, check this out. The only game where neither team scored 100 points yesterday, Orlando and Boston.
Why am I not surprised?
Orlando pulls it out 96-76. But that's the only team. Every other game, at least one team scored 100 points, including the Utah Jazz scored 133. And the Clippers have scored 134.
Yep, they blasted Houston last night after Houston got close.
They
blasted the Rockets. All right. I'll say it. You know, I have been hated on for the 11 years I've been active doing Snowman in the Morning, and for the 25 years I've been a sports talk host. Victor, you and Bobby Fat Mac, a dear friend of ours that was at WCSU with us, taught me one thing. Don't talk about just the stats. Also mention the philosophy and the effect therein.
Right.
That's what you and Bobby kept drilling in my head my first 2 years. I was at WCSU.
We said a long time ago, stats only tell part of the story.
Yeah. And I didn't think about it until y'all gave me that lesson. And I got to be honest with you, it took me a few months for it to really sit in. And that's where I shifted my sports talk. I decided, I'm going to tell the truth no matter what.
Right.
And I can't live any other way.
Right. Stats are still part of the story. You can sit there and throw stats all. That's what our favorite group of people always do. They throw these stats out there. It's like, see, this just proves why who's better than everyone else. And it's like, stats only tell half the story.
Exactly. When you dig deep into the story, the numbers are only 1/3 of it.
Right.
The numbers are only 1/3 of the story. Okay. Now, do I still believe that the Warriors can win it all? Yes, I do. But this was a wake-up call for them.
Yeah.
They're only a half game out of the 6th spot.
They kind of, you could say they were kind of feeling themselves a little bit.
Oh, yeah. After winning 5 in a row. Yeah.
They're kind of feeling themselves a little bit. And that is always going to cost you, especially a team that's very fundamentally sound like San Antonio.
Yeah. I want to see the Spurs and the Warriors next year in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, I do too.
Would that not be amazing? Would that not be amazing? Brandon Pajemski, Victor Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox, Stephen Curry.
Yeah,
I'm going to call for it. Spurs and Warriors, West Finals.
Spurs and Warriors, West Finals next year. Yeah.
Here. Now, there's a lot that has to happen. I realize that, but I'm calling for it.
A lot of teams have to completely fall off, and I don't see that happening.
Denver's not falling off.
Denver's not falling off. The Clippers are surging.
The Lakers aren't falling off. As much as it pains me to say it, I gotta be real. The Lakers aren't falling off. Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, LBJ. Listen, a lot of teams that are in the top spot of the West right now, they're not falling off. The Rockets aren't falling off. The Grizzlies. It's gonna take a lot. And Steph, if he plays next year, will be entering his 17th season. Golly, man. 17 years in the Bay.
I think he's gonna try and go for as long as LeBron's gone.
I know. I feel that too, because Steph wants that 5th ring.
Yes.
Okay. Steph wants that 5th ring. I still believe he'll get it before Bron does. And as soon as Steph gets that 5th ring before Bron walks away. And Steph retires on the top of the mountain.
Right.
That's how I see it. All right, let's take a break. I got my rant off I didn't close it. I didn't open it the right way, but I closed it the right way. As far as the Warriors go, you choked away a chance to seal up the 6th seed last night. Now, don't mess up the play-in round like you did 4 years ago. Should you wind up locked in that play-in round. You got the weapons to blow through the West. Do so, please. That's Snowman's take. What is yours? Coming up after the break, we're going to take a stroll down memory lane. I have some flowers to give out. Snowman in the morning, back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the morning.
People tell me how lucky my daughter is to have been adopted. But really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crown they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
I love you, Chris Bass. And Sick Diggy, I love you too. Because he gave me this during the break. This edition of Snowman in the Morning is brought to you by Pimp Slap Anonymous. Dear God.
Oh, boy.
When you wake up and choose violence, call 1-800-SLAP. PSA, it's better to catch wisdom than to catch a case. No lies in that statement.
None.
And by Clearwater Laxative. When things get muddy, Clearwater is your buddy. It's better to catch wisdom than to catch a case. I detect no cap in that sentence.
None.
Thank you. The beautiful bearded bastards is with us this morning. Hello to you, and thank you for joining us. I want to interview you guys on my show, man. There's a lot of people I want to bring back, and an expansion of the show is going to happen, especially during football season when we're all putting scores up and things like that. And Snowman Sportsnet is alive and well, and you guys are going to be a part of it. You guys are going to come on the journey with me, because a couple times I give you a few free behind the scenes stuff. But if you really want some good behind the scenes stuff, you got to join me on Patreon, patreon.com/snowman multimedia. Victor, my friend, you have been with me for 25 years. Through it all.
Yes.
Personally and professionally. And we have seen some stupid, crazy, funny moments in 25 years.
Yes, we have.
I cannot say thank you enough for being there, for continuing to be there, especially during times I thought you'd walk away.
I told you I was here.
You did. My brain was messed up for a long while.
Yeah.
A long while. I didn't know it, but Victor knew it. My mom knew it. Victor even pointed out that I may be going through depression after my dad died.
Yeah.
Which I did. And it hit. Yeah. Oh, it hit me. It still hits me.
Oh yeah, it's gonna. I'm still dealing with the situation with my grandmother passing.
Yeah.
Still to this day.
But I think the one event that set me back the most when I lost Donna twice.
Yeah.
I lost her to adoption, and then I lost her to death.
Yeah.
And at the time that I lost her to death, I was going through a lot of turbulence.
Right.
A lot of turbulence. And you've been there for me. You've stood by me. You continue to stand by me. And now that everything has flipped back around and we're doing this show together, it was a perfect call for you to come on the show and be a regular. It was a perfect call. Because this started, me and Victor had always shared a show together. When I started Snowman in the Morning, I didn't have a co-host or a producer. I now have both in 11 seasons. When I first started this show, it was a wing and a prayer. Let me be totally honest. Triple B says loss of family members is very tough. Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
As I said, I'm still dealing with losing Donna, my little baby girl. Man, when I started this 11 years ago, it was a wing and a prayer because I thought I would make my hay during the afternoons.
Right.
And that fell flat. When I started Snowman in the Morning, I was doing both Snowman in the Morning and the afternoon locker room, and I couldn't keep up.
Right.
So my dear friend Alvin Washington took the afternoon locker room and blew it up and made it his own. And Vinny, God bless you. I miss you.
We both
we miss you, man. We miss you. I'm so glad I had a chance to talk to you, Vendog, before you passed away. We patched up a lot in 7 minutes. And I cannot thank him enough for that opportunity. Man, let me tell you. We had blown up that WCSU studio several hundred times. Why? Because we were the only show on their schedule that not only kept our schedule, but made the show better every single time.
And what was funny is we always had other people that got involved.
Yeah. Our crew kept growing.
Yep. Because it started off with just us. And then Dion got involved. Chuck got involved. Bobby got involved. Jason got involved.
Yep.
My favorite thing was because Jason was a big Bears fan. Probably still is.
Yes. Yes.
And we would talk about how the Bears were really bad. And every time we would do that, he would be right on us. So there was one time. Now, mind you guys, there is a window that you can see into the studio when we're talking.
Yes.
And we got into how bad the Bears were sucking one time. And not even 2 seconds later, Jason is by the window just looking at us.
I remember that.
And I started laughing.
Oh my gosh.
And I sat there, I started laughing, and he just walks in and he's got a deep voice. He said, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Leave the Bears alone.
He is
9-7 wild card. Leave him alone.
He especially hated me.
He ain't hate nobody. He just
I know. I mean that playfully.
Right.
I mean that very playfully. Because I'll talk mess about the Bears all day long. He hated me.
Oh, it was so
I was taping a segment because I was going out of town. I was going on a road trip with the basketball team. I was taping a segment and I got to the Bears And before I could say anything, Jason walked through the production room door.
Yep. Right through the door.
Right through the door before I could really crank up and get going. Matter of fact, I was taping a full show that was going to run while I was out of town. Jason walked through the door. And delivered a verbal
Tiger uppercut.
Yep.
And told me not to talk about the Bears. I said, why not? When I tell you he had fire in his eyes.
Yep.
He had fire in his eyes.
He was looking for war.
He was ready for war. I wound up taping the segment anyway.
Right.
He catches me after I come back from my road trip and he said, I heard what you said about the Bears, and I'm trying not to laugh.
Right.
I'm desperately trying not to laugh. He was cracking up too.
We all were.
John, the station manager, said, how'd you pull that off? What? He said, you pissed off Jason so bad. I told the truth about the Bears. Yeah, but he doesn't like that. Neither do the Cowboys. Next question.
That's true.
And when I said that statement, Victor was behind me. I said, he said, you pissed Jason off. I know. I told the truth about the Bears. He said, yeah, but he didn't like that. Neither do Cowboy fans when I get on them. Next question. As Victor is standing behind me, he put his hand on my shoulder and said, what did you say? And before I turned around, I went, off.
Right.
I turn around. I see Victor doubled over in laughter.
Yeah. And I tried to do my best droopy impersonation. Like, you know what? That
makes me mad.
And couldn't do it.
I couldn't.
Couldn't do it.
I was laughing way too hard to do it.
Could not do it at all. Oh my gosh. So many memories that we made being on the road together, doing games together.
And the pranks we put on each other.
Oh my gosh. Oh Lord.
I'm pretty sure.
And the pranks we would pull on Derek.
Yes. I'm pretty sure everyone has heard this story. A pretty young lady that I was interested in by the name of Eliana.
What's wrong with me?
She was not feeling well.
Yeah, she was sick as a dog.
And so I came in and I was like, where's Brian? And they said, oh, Brian's not here. I'm like, they just said Brian was in the studio. And Eliana kind of looked up. She said, oh, you're here. I'm like, yes, I'm here. I was looking for Brian. I'm not feeling well. Could you come over here? Can I do what? Before I could say anything in protest, this woman pulled me into the chair.
She didn't pull, she yanked.
She yanked me into the chair, proceeded to cuddle on my lap and pass out.
Yes. Pass clean out.
I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to leave.
Mm-hmm. Because you were getting ready to take off.
Yep.
You were getting ready to take off.
And then here comes Snowman. Sees the situation.
Uh-huh.
And I'm mouthing, help me.
He was.
Do something to help me. Get me out of here.
He was saying, please. He was saying, please.
Get me out of here. What does he do? He says, well, I'm going to go ahead and get some lunch. I'll see you later. And took off the subway.
I did.
Left me alone.
I did.
No, she pulled me into a chair, sick.
Yep. She did.
And she was a strong girl.
Oh, she lifted. Oh, she lifted. You can tell she was lifted. You can tell she lifted.
And
she lifted weights, man.
Yeah. You could tell. And so I'm like, I'm gonna get him. I got you. I got you.
When I came back with said Subway, there was a look that Victor shot me. He was PO'd
to the nines.
He looked at me and he said, "You need to do something." I need to do what? Now, mind you, I'm holding a pair of Subway sandwiches.
Right.
I'm holding a pair of I'm holding a pair of sandwiches. One is meatball, which is mine, and then one is Victor's.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "What do you want me to do? Get me out of here." Now Victor's growling through his teeth.
Right, because she is deadly, and this isn't the first time that a young
she
woman
is dead weight.
Yeah, this is not the first time that a young woman who's under the weather has used me as a beanbag chair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She was just about probably like 5'1", 5'2", 6.
Yep. But
she was not very tall.
Faster than lightning and strong as an ox.
Mm-hmm.
Strong as an ox.
So he still walked out.
I gave him the sandwich.
And he strolled out.
I didn't stroll out. I bolted. Like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
What?
2 days later, Victor gets his revenge.
Yep.
Because it was a pretty lady named Keena that was interested in me. I was in the production room. I was rolling along and I was in the zone. I was in the zone.
I'm gonna tell you right now, because you guys have never seen this, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Snowman would do post-production, when he would do his editing, it's like cone of silence. He is laser locked focus on everything.
Yeah.
He's trying to make sure he splices everything perfectly. The commercials, because we had a certain thing.
And remember, it was all audio at the time.
It was all audio. It was all tape
audio.
recorded. It was all tape recorded.
It was all recorded. Yep.
So
there was a lot that went into the editing I did.
Yes.
Before it became digital.
So any time that Snowman had to do, he would block off like a couple hours.
Yeah.
And you couldn't talk to him because he is laser lock focused on what he needs to do.
Victor broke me.
Yep.
He came in and I heard the door and I was getting ready to cuss up a fit.
Mm-hmm.
I turn around and I see Victor. I said, "Oh, it's Victor." Okay. I turned around and I fake yelled at him and I went, "What? Somebody wants to see you." "No." "Brian, what?" "Somebody wants to see you." "No." "Get him out of here. I'm busy." And he goes, "Okay."
Like
he walked out. I put my headphones back on. I get a tap on the shoulder. I turn around and Keena's right there and smush.
Right.
Victor, using my motif, went, "Well, I'm going to go to lunch. I'll see you later."
Yep.
I couldn't do anything.
No, you could not.
Because Victor was long gone. He was getting his sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
He came back and he goes, "Hey, Brian, I have lunch for you." "Hey, Victor, I have to talk to you."
The way this went down, I dropped his sandwich on his coat where he kept his coat and bag.
Yeah.
I went and ate my sandwich and I went to the computer room where our friend Devin worked.
Oh, God, Devin. Jeez.
So I'm in the back with the Max playing chess. There he goes. The door opens. Stomp, 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 stomp. I get yanked out of my chair.
It's true. It's true.
I get yanked out of my chair. And I said, hi. Snowman just, hi. We're going to talk. Oh, boy. Now, everyone is confused. Some people are scared. Meanwhile, Snowman and I have this inner argument. Don't laugh. I'm not gonna laugh. You don't laugh.
I was telling Victor over and over, don't laugh.
Don't laugh.
Because I was going to lose it.
Right.
I was going to flat out lose it.
Don't laugh.
I was gonna flat out crack up.
It's like, don't laugh, you don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh. Here comes some dude named Ethan trying to step in, and we lost it.
I was done.
And we just straight up lost it.
Mm-hmm.
It was too funny.
Ethan was mad.
Oh, yeah.
Ethan was pissed.
Because he's the type of person that you can't have a joke and him not be in on it.
Right.
So he also kind of took himself a little too seriously, but that's neither here nor there.
He came in and just started spitting the rules out. I turned around, Victor turned around, and we both just plain lost it.
We lost it. Just start laughing our heads off.
Plain lost it. I look back, Devin's on the floor.
Right.
Cracking up. Oh gosh. A little before we take a break, a little programming note. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. It's Columbus East hosting Scottsburg. Yours truly will have the call on Snowman Multimedia. We start our pregame at 5:45. Take a break, and we come back. We're gonna have a run through of the NFL draft.
Yes,
our way. And yes, there's an evil grin on my face. Back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quinn.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BET in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I
Look at
can't
Ray
stand
J.
that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meat beef of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back on this random Thursday, this tripped out random Thursday. Took a couple strolls down memory lane.
And sick no, I did not say hi like Stitch. I just said hi.
Mm-hmm. With a 2.5-foot smile on his face.
2.5-foot smile.
Was that not hilarious though?
It was. Yes, it was. So I got a chance to look at some stuff on the news.
Okay.
And 2 golf segments came up. And normally I don't pay attention. But Keegan Bradley.
Okay.
Keegan Bradley. And I don't know if this is the first time this ever happened, but during the par 3 contest, sinks a hole in one.
Oh, man.
And when I tell you it was a thing of beauty, it was an absolute thing of beauty.
Wow.
But what really struck me, because I thought it was absolutely amazing, Rory McIlroy's daughter, Poppy.
Nice.
Sinks, I want to say at least a 15-foot putt.
Nice.
And
Very
I mean,
nice.
when you see it, it's like she barely puts any hit behind it. And this thing just rolled. And it stops halfway and just watching, and all of a sudden this thing just rolls right towards the cup.
I love it.
It was an absolute thing of beauty.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
and we talked about it before about how everyone's like gotta be real quiet and everything. Not a single person was quiet.
No.
During either
I
of
don't
those
expect
situations.
them to be.
During either of those situations in Augusta. Nobody was quiet.
No. No.
Even when her sister like picked her up after everything. It was a really nice thing to see. And I
love it.
I would love to hear how
that.
Mike Drop Moran reacts to this. But yeah, those were some of the golf moments I saw that were really interesting. Because it's very rare you see a hole in one on a par 3.
I never have seen that in my life. Hole in one on a par 3.
Yep. I was like, oh crap. Okay.
Exactly. Exactamundo.
Now
I wasn't even listen. My dad got me some golf clubs when I was 7 years old. I wasn't trying to hear that.
Right. Give me a set of baseball bats.
Right. Right. I owned equipment in almost every sport. All right. And thank you, Dad. Thank you, Pops, for that.
I just won basketball. It was a white basketball, and it had MJ on one, and Scotty on the other. Had the Bulls in the middle of the
Oh
basketball.
man, isn't that great?
We wore that ball out.
I owned two basketballs in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them were signed by Michael Jordan.
Man.
My sister tried to let me borrow this basketball. You touch that basketball, I'm breaking your hand.
Right. You touch it, you die.
Mm-hmm. Now you touch that basketball, I'm breaking your hand in half.
Like, cause you don't play basketball.
Like, oh, you wouldn't do anything to me, bitch. Don't try me. My exact words.
Almost a dare.
It was a dare. It was a dare. Because I got sick of her strolling into my room and taking stuff.
Right.
I got sick of it.
It already happened a few times already.
It did. I got sick of it. So I responded.
You touched the basketball, you die.
I surprised the hell out of my mother.
Right.
I really surprised the hell out of my dad before he started laughing.
Right.
Like, oh, you don't use this anyway. Bitch, don't try me. And I could just hear my dad come flying up the stairs.
Right.
And he like slowly pulls me away with basketball in hand. He's like, you all right? You all right?
Right.
I'm like, I'm fine. She touches my basketball, I'm gonna put my foot in there, Brian. Yes.
Like, you about to go too far.
Uh-huh.
Let's pull back. Let's pull back.
Because he knew what I was about to say.
Everyone knew what you were about to say.
He knew what I was about to say.
But everybody knew what you were about to say.
My dad rode to the rescue
Mm-hmm.
and basically kept me from going to jail.
Right.
Because I'd have gone to jail. Easy. But I didn't. Dad was there, and Dad politely told Nicole, don't touch his basketball.
Right.
Thanks, Pops. Would you believe she tried again?
She tried anyway.
She tried anyway. I went completely off.
We'll ask that again.
I went completely bloody off. I said some words that I heard my dad say. I said some words that I heard Richard Pryor say.
Oh, no.
I heard some words that Eddie Murphy said. And at that time, I had just gotten turned on to the George Carlin.
Oh, boy.
Oh, dear. I thought my mom was going to faint.
I thought she was going to get the belt.
No, Dad did that.
Oh, okay.
Dad did that. With the polite warning of, do you really want to test me? No, sir.
No, sir, I do not. No, sir, I do not. But tell her to keep her mitts off my basketball.
Nicole started laughing as she went downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
I politely just held my basketball and, okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not going to put a foot in her.
Like, you want some more? No.
Like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not going to do it. I didn't do it. And that basketball was allowed to travel with me when I went to college.
Good.
I left Chicago right after I graduated high school. I got the hell out of there. Thank you, Lewis Black, for that opening.
I'm trying to leave.
Like, don't you want to stay here? No. You know how mom is.
No.
You know how mom is.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
You know how moms. Okay, let me pluralize it because I've seen it a lot of times. You know how moms are.
Yes. Oh my God. The funniest thing that happened was when I got my first apartment by myself.
Oh boy.
Now, mind you, my mom was always, I can't wait till you get out the house. I can't wait till you find your own place. Then you understand how it's really hard, which she's correct, right?
She is.
But she'd always say that when we lived together, I can't wait till you find your own place, man. I can't wait till you get out my house.
Uh-huh.
When I got everything moved in, the first is, don't you want to stay for like one more night? Have dinner and everything. You move in tomorrow. I'm like, Mom, I'm okay. I gotta get used to this place.
Oh yeah.
It's how parents are. Parents are like,
Yeah.
they always say that until it happens.
Until it happens.
Then they're like, I don't want you to go.
Dad gave me, when I moved into my apartment in Gary, Indiana, Dad gave me a big hug.
Right.
And I've gotten the deposit from working at Ho Chunk.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm cool. I didn't think I'd get the place.
Right.
Quite honestly, I didn't think I'd get the place. And I had a game later that night.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I got to get this place. I got to sign a lease. And then I got to get the hell back to Chicago because I got a game to do. And the apartment manager told me where to meet her. And I didn't know where the hell it was.
Right.
I had not making that many trips into Northern Indiana. So she met me at the apartment complex, lease in hand. Went and toured the place. She said, I'll have an answer for you by tomorrow. Like, damn. So I hop back in my car and I'm halfway to Chicago. I get the phone call. You got the place.
Right.
I turned right around and flew back to that apartment. I got my money order. The one pit stop I made was to get a money order for the deposit. Did that. I flew back to the apartment. And I celebrated by doing a game that night. And then my mother called me. And then my mother called me. And Mom, I have to do this joke because I miss you dearly. Said the same thing your mother said. Don't you want to stay for one more night? Mom, I love you, but hell no.
Right.
I said that and Mom died laughing.
Right. Because she knew you had to be on your own.
Yeah, she knew. She knew. And you helped me move, so I thank you for that.
Not a problem.
Victor drove my car. I drove the truck. We stopped to get something. To eat. Got everything moved in. And I'll never forget what Victor said. Go home, go home, go home, go home. As he walked out and drove back.
Go to your home.
I fell asleep in the living room that night and didn't wake up for about a day and a half.
Oh,
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Okay. We have reached halftime, folks, of this really tripped out Thursday. And it's a random Thursday. Tomorrow, all things football and all things NFL draft. And then beginning Monday, we'll do breakdowns of every team and what they need. And we'll take it right up to draft night on Thursday, April 24th.
April 24th. Let's see. When is draft?
Yes, April 24th. The draft begins at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we are going to take care of that because we're going to stream it on our channel.
Oh, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be crazy.
Yes, it's going to be nuts. I'm going to have a draft party. We're going to talk about all the picks, but beginning next week, we started. Everybody's doing their draft talk early.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody's doing their draft talk early. We are starting next week because we'll have better breakdowns.
Right.
We may not be draft nerds, but doggone it, we're nerds.
Yes, we are.
We will get this right. Let's go to halftime. When we come back, I may have a surprise for you.
Okay.
Back after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quinn.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BT in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I can't stand that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meet beef of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, Sleet or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Sports bettors, listen up. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back and in our 30th year of action. With live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily odds boosters, props and parlays, fast payouts, and exceptional one-to-one customer service, we got it all. And when you sign up today and use the code SNOWMAN, you will get a 125% deposit match on your deposit. Log on to betus.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BET-US. BetUS.com, where the game begins. Attention sports fans, looking for the ultimate gear and apparel to show your team pride? Look no further than Fanatics, the #1 destination for sports enthusiasts. Visit snowmanmultimediasports.com today and shop a wide selection of officially licensed merchandise from your favorite teams and players. From jerseys to hats to accessories to collectibles, Fanatics has it all. Don't miss out on the chance to elevate your game day experience. Head over to snowmanmultimediasports.com/fanatics and gear up like a true fan with Fanatics. Officially licensed everything.
It's no secret. Today's consumer wants convenience and likes things on the go. They want to be listened to and receive instant solutions to their queries. This can often make or break the customer service experience. That's why it makes convenient interactions easy for you. Whether your customers want to connect with you via text, Facebook Messenger, Google, Instagram, or website, all messages now come to the one easy-to-use inbox, so you don't have to check a dozen different sites from the platform. From here, you can send SMS or email, answer questions, schedule appointments, take payments, and close more deals simply by messaging back and forth with your customers. When someone searches for a business like yours, they will look at your reviews. So unless you have more positive reviews, they'll choose someone else. Luck makes it easy to collect hundreds or even thousands of reviews from your customers. Simply send a review invitation or create automation that requests customer reviews right after the sale, or maybe right after a service is completed. It will take them 30 seconds or less to leave the review. Now those reviews will show up on the search result and increase your ranking that matters most. Plus, our advanced reporting will show you exactly where your leads are coming from and if your website or ads are doing their job. So why are you waiting? Put your business way in front of your competitors, get more leads, convert more of those leads to paying customers by getting started with today.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
All right, let me get a little housekeeping out of the way. You want to advertise with us and the network? Drop me an email at snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com. Of course, you all know I am disabled and trying to do everything I can to help my family. So if you can help out here with a Cash App during the show or off the air, that would be appreciated as well. Now, let's do this thing. I have a surprise. And here she comes. Mike Drop Moran joins us from Chicago. How are you, my dear?
Brian, my sweet thing, I cannot hear a word you're saying.
Oh. What? Not again.
I don't know why that is, honey, but you are the master of the controls.
That's weird.
I could do a solo. I mean, I could just, do a Snowman in the Morning takeover. Token female takes over. And just, do my solo shot. This is a great opportunity to do that. But You, my man, are still the master. So,
Okay, hold on.
whatever you want to do is fine by me.
Let me take this out.
But I just see your mouth moving, and I do not read lips.
Yeah, see, Nick says he hears everything clearly from both of you.
This happened to me once with Bob Costas. All I heard was a flea in my ear, and it's Bob Costas. Bob freaking Costas. And I went on and I did my question, and mercifully he had like a 15-minute answer, which was lucky because I wouldn't have been able to do the show at all without him. And by the time that he got there, by the time he finished his answer, it was back on. Okay, I'll see you later.
Okay. Wait, did everybody leave? I think everyone just left. He's left me alone. Okay.
Doggone it.
Okay, so we're gonna have Mike Job right because I heard both of you. I heard both of you.
I heard Allie just fine.
Right.
Okay.
I heard both of you.
Yeah, give me this. Let's try this again. Token female take
Still can't hear you, baby.
Still can't hear.
Damn it.
Miss Moran, can you check to see if on the other end? Or can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Shall we just move to me making my WNBA draft predictions for Monday, April 14th, coming up fast.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's do that. Number 1, you got the Dallas Wings picking first with guard Paige Beckers, number 1 in our hearts and in our minds, and the newly crowned national champion, Connecticut Huskies. She just led UConn to the first national championship since 2016, putting up monster numbers. This woman can do it all, and the Dallas Wings absolutely necessarily need that. They are number 1 in the draft picking order, the Dallas Wings, for a reason. And take a look at these numbers. She scored 30-plus points in 3 consecutive games, including a career-high 40-point performance in the Elite 8. Mm-hmm. Not only that, she's one hot number. So she is going to rival Caitlin Clark for drawing more and more people to the WNBA. And believe it or not, this is very big. Beckers dropped a total of 105 points in 3 games. That's a most ever by a UConn player in that 3-game span. So, Paige Beckers, number 1. If you've got a bet on it, place your life savings on it. This is what Dallas Wings have needed. So
she's going first.
I wish I could hear you, Brian. I really can't hear you at all. But I will go on to number 2, Seattle Storm. Once a great dynasty, once a fabulous team. Unfortunately, they have fallen on hard times. And so here's another pretty solid pick. Guard Sonia Citron out of Notre Dame. I'll tell you why. This spot was supposed to go to Olivia Miles. She was supposed to go 2nd overall, but she decided to opt out of the draft this year and stay another year at Notre Dame. God bless her. here's where Sonia is going to be very helpful. Last year, the Storm parted ways with Jewel Lloyd. That was in a 3-team trade with the Las Vegas Aces and the Los Angeles Sparks. And Seattle acquired the 2nd overall pick from the Sparks, and they've got an extremely efficient scorer as well as a great defender in Sonia Citron. So that's your second pick, very solid. Sonia Citron to the Seattle Storm. She's a guard. She's going to be an adequate and good replacement for Jewel Lloyd. Number 3, you've got the Washington Mystics. And here's an unusual choice, but I think it's pretty solid. Dominique Malanga from France. Now, let's just say that the French team has taken over the NBA. You can see our friend Victor. Don't ask me to pronounce his last name, please. But
Wembanyama.
He's Victor Wembanyama. I can't pronounce it very well, and I apologize to Victor. But Dominique is a 6'6" center. She can do it all with speed, length, and explosiveness. Right now, she's averaging 15.4 points, 10.3 rebounds, and 1.2 blocks, while shooting 53.8% from the field for France's Lyon Asvel Féminine. So I'm not going to say it 10 times fast. And this she's only 19 years old. She turns 20 in November, which means she was born the same year as my baby Lev. So, and my nephew, Matt. So she is a fabulous human being. 2005 was a great year for births and for birthing talented and outstanding people. I'll have to say that. Interestingly enough, on a side note, and personally, my nephew Matthew is in France right now on a scholarship studying jazz. And he is just tearing apart the French cafes with his talent. I expect to hear a lot more out of all 3 of these very outstanding 20-year-olds. Dominique Malanga is first. She's going to the Washington Mystics. This will be a very, very interesting pick for the Mystics, who have been pathetic over the last few years. It's going to be a game changer. Now, if you don't know, the Washington Mystics has like 3 picks in the top 10, so they've got a third of the draft coming up for you. They are also picking number 4. So, if only the Connecticut Sun had this kind of luck, man. I'm telling you, they lost their starting 5 this year. So it's going to be a very interesting draft, and I'm sure that Connecticut is going to be raising its hackles over the year. But at number 4, we're predicting forward Anissa Morrow. And out of LSU, a Kim Mulkey product. Mm-hmm. And God knows they need the fire. Let's put it that way. 6'1" forward, double machine, led the nation in rebounds per game with 13.5 and double-doubles. She had 30 double-doubles. And in the kind of season that you have, my God, that's going to be great. She scored a double-double in 3 of 4 tournament games, including a 30-point, 19-rebound performance in the LSU Sweet 16 win over North Carolina State. Kay Yao is rolling over in her grave. But more, her versatility, her rebounding abilities, and relentless attitude will translate well into the WNBA. That is going to be that's a great shot for the Mystics. So they're going to be a team to watch as the draft comes up. Now, at number 5, we've got a new one. We've got the Golden State Valkyries. And yes, the latest and most influential of teams, because they are doing everything right to build this franchise. So with the number 5 pick, we're predicting forward Kiki Irafin out of USC. Now, Natalie Nikasi, the Valkyries head coach, told USA Today Sports that she's looking for ultra competitive, high character, never satisfied player that will help build the team's culture in its inaugural season.
Mm-hmm.
And Kiki Irafin checks all those boxes. She's a 6'3" forward. She'd make an immediate impact in Golden State. And actually, as you'll recall, she was not that far away when she started her career at Stanford, and then she transferred to down south at USC. And she's got the size, 6'3". She's got an explosiveness in the paint, and she's got athleticism. So she was one of the reasons why USC was able to hang on for so long in the tournament after Juju Watkins went down. So, even though the USC could not sustain their lead, and their potential Final Four, she still managed to make a true impact. She averaged 18 points, 8.4 rebounds, 1.8 assists, and shot 49% from the field for the Trojans this season. Now, when she's not backing up opponents in the paint, as she told USA Today, they're cleaning up the glass with physicality, explosiveness, and they also can use her mid-range skills. And she really stepped up, as we said, following Juju Watkins' injury. So here we go. This is going to be a very important pick. You agree, Brian? Yeah. What I'm afraid of, honestly, is that Golden State Valkyries is going to have such a powerful team that this year they're going to be shooting up the roster, and they are going to be like the number 1, kind of like the way the Las Vegas Golden Knights did the first year. They've got the cream of the crop picks. Okay. They've got everybody going, you had to give up a player. All of the rest of the WNBA had to give up a player for them. And so I'm guessing that this team is going to be at the top of the charts. They're going to be at the top of the standings for most of the year. That's my guess. You look skeptical. I'm glad you have such great expression, so we can still communicate even though you have no sound. Shall we go on to the number 6 pick? Let's do it. Okay. All righty. We got the Washington Mystics yet again. Guard Cheyenne Sellers out of Maryland. That's the pick. God, they like drew lucky cards and they made the right moves at the right time. I'm jealous. I wish the Chicago Sky would actually do something like that. That would be really swell, wouldn't it? Okay. This time they're going to select a guard. She's averaging 14.4 points per game, 3.8 rebounds, and 4.1 assists, while shooting 46.2% from the field and a career high 40.8% from beyond the arc this season for the Terrapins. So under Brenda Frazee, that is a remarkable record. So she's also the first player in Maryland history to reach 1,500 points, 500 rebounds, and 500 assists in the long history of the Terrapins. So my guess is that she is going to be an immediate impact player. And I am looking forward to watching the Washington Mystics battle with the Golden State Valkyries for the top of the standings. We'll see. Again, that's exactly how I think it's going to play out this year, because you don't know how these picks are ever going to work out. The speed is fast, but you find that those who were extremely aggressive on the court in college will also do well in the WNBA. And I remember talking to a few people in the, like on Chicago Sky Media Day, when I'd come out and watch their practices, and the ones that came off the court and were not sweating or huffing and puffing. I'm like, I don't know if these people are going to make it in the WNBA. And 95% of the time I was right. They did not. They would take a lesser role. They would, and I don't want to mention any names here because I don't think it's fair, because they did find roles elsewhere, but not necessarily in the WNBA. Many of them went into coaching and things like that. So for my money, though, I'm saying that the more aggressive you can be, the better off you are in the WNBA. You need to be fearless as well. You can't be nervous. So Cheyenne Sellers, number 6 to the Washington Mystics. All right, at number 7, you have the Connecticut Sun. And here's an unusual choice. Aja Sivka from Slovenia, which is interesting. The home country of Melania Trump. So how about that? Let's say that the Sun has, to put it mildly, needed to rebuild their entire team from the top down. They lost head coach Stephanie White, Alyssa Thomas, Dewana Bonner, Dejanay Carrington, Tiasha Harris, and Brianna Jones, their entire starting lineup. Mm-hmm. How about that? Okay. We don't know what head coach Rashid Mezian is going to take. However, this Slovenian forward, Aisha Sivka, is a solid draft and stash option, and they could benefit the Sun in the long run. And she's a wing. She's averaging 7.6 points, 3.1 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and shooting 47.5%. So I'm picking this as pretty solid. And let's say that every pick that I have had is in agreement with what USA Today has predicted, because they have been the gold standard for years on end with their picks. Now, the Connecticut Sun is also picking number 8. Lucky, lucky, lucky them. Because they've needed, like I said, to rebuild their roster. So at number 8, predicting guard Georgia Amore from Kentucky. But I'm glad you're in agreement, Brian. Okay. Lucky them. She's undersized though. She's a little person as far as the WNBA goes. She's 5'6", and however, she is an elite facilitator. She led the SEC in assists per game with 6.9. She's also a certified bucket maker. She's averaged a career high 19.6 points, shooting a career high 42.3% from the field, and she dropped 34 points in Kentucky's tournament opener against the Liberty. And Brian, I'm sorry you're not on the board for my number 9 pick, which will be the Los Angeles Sparks. That will be guard Haley Van Lith, HVL from TCU. This person became a star during the NCAA tournament. The Sparks kicked off free agency by landing Kelsey Plum, two-time WNBA champion from the Las Vegas Aces, and she's going to be joining Cameron Brinks, Rakia Jackson, and Derica Hamby in Los Angeles. And the Sparks is going to add another guard to the mix with Haley Van Lith, who dramatically increased her draft stock in the NCAA tournament by taking the TCU Horned Frogs to the Elite Eight, someplace they had not been for many, many a season. She averaged 17.9 points, shooting a career high 45.2% from the field and 33.8% from the three. And she also brings to the LA Sparks some Olympics experience and 5 years in college. If there were a woman who was ever ready for the WNBA, it would be HVL Haley Van Lith. She is so good. You agree with that pick, Brian? You do. Good. I'm very glad that you do, because she is just a phenomenal player. And I wish that she would go to the Chicago Sky, who's picking at number 10. I don't understand why, but they're not interested in an explosive scoring machine like her. However, what they're going to do is at number 10, the Chicago Sky is likely going to take guard Tahina Pau, which I love that name. I love and look forward to having her come to the Sky just so I can say the name over and over again. Pow, pow, pow. God bless her. First of all, the Sky need a scoring machine, something in the nature of Kennedy Carter. They don't have that. They truly just don't have that in that way. Now, along with Courtney Vandersloot, who can direct anybody on the field, anybody. She was called the general for a reason. We also have Kia Nurse. We got them in free agency. Glad to see Courtney back, first of all. Kia Nurse will be very good. There's going to be depth in Pow Pow. And first of all, she's reuniting with her old South Carolina teammate, Camila Cardoso. Pow Pow averaged 9.6 points, 2.6 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and shot 47.1% from the field. I see her as the sixth man coming off the bench. I see her as perhaps another, maybe Allie Quigley, maybe. I'm wondering about that, but I'm thinking that will be her value. She ain't going to be a starter, honestly. She won't be a starter her first year, but she will be a very, very adequate addition to the team while she learns from Camila Cardoso and Courtney Vandersloot and Kia Nurse. I see her as being kind of the next generation for Tyler Marsh, who's the new coach, and etc. So I'm thinking it's going to be a very good way for them to go. She did have some issues beyond the arc, 37.1%, but still respectable. She can create a shot, and she's developed as a lockdown defender and has also emerged as an elite 3-and-D player. So I'm happy with that. I'll live with it. I would have liked for them to go maybe a little more splashy, because we need splash. We need that. We'll see but currently this is Angel Reese's and Camila Cardoso's team. And I think they're leaving the splash and all to Angel and Camila this year. I would have preferred a Barbie and Ken show like we had last year. Would have loved it. Not possible. All right, let's go to number 11. We have the Minnesota Lynx, and we're thinking that that they are going to pick guard Serena Sindel from Kansas State. So thinking that they just fell short of a 2024 WNBA championship with the New York Liberty. It was a very tough loss, and most of their roster, though, is coming back, but they will add some depth with this guard because she has excellent vision. And she led the nation in assists per game, 7.3. She can also score, and she averaged 14.1 points and had 4.4 rebounds this season. So she will be a solid addition, and them not needing that much, I'm looking to the Minnesota Lynx for maybe a better performance than last year. I looked at them as one of the teams to beat, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be Golden State Valkyries and Minnesota Lynx battling it out in the West. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. All right, now let's talk about the Dallas Wings. They're picking at number 12. Okay, we're gonna say Sanaya Rivers at number 12. Now, fun fact, I interviewed Sanaya Rivers when she was at South Carolina, when she was just but a wee freshman, not very happy at South Carolina. She transferred over to NC State, and she was a scrapper, and she just has so much tenacity on the court. I just loved her. I'm glad she transferred because she would have drowned in the depth that was South Carolina in those years. And the Wings already have so much in Paige Beckers with the first overall pick. But here's what I loved about Rivers, and that was that she can beat anyone in one-on-one play. She's fabulous, and she averaged 11 points, 6.6 rebounds, and 3.8 assists 1.7 steals, and 1.3 blocks this season. And she's going to be a very good defender for the Wings. She ranked, and believe me, they're a team that could use it because they ranked dead last in defense last year. So, you know that anything is going to lift their boat this season, and Sanaya Rivers will be that person for the Wings. I've never known anybody who has been more determined. Even as a freshman, when I interviewed her ages ago, she just had such a fire in her. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. And I think she's going to be just a fabulous addition for the team. Now, shall we move on, Brian, to the NCAA championship game? Let me tell you about Gino Auriemma, who I've known and interviewed since 2007, something like that. You know, with Gino, he hasn't been in this position for 8 years. You know, their last national championship was in 2016. And he mentioned on a couple of sites that he revealed a prayer that he prayed during a pregame walk around the UConn hotel team early on the day of the championship game. He said, "Dear God, I don't need one of these titles, but damn, my players do. Can you do it for them?" Okay, did Gino Auriemma actually have the ear of God that day? And I have a question about that. I will say that that for some reason, South Carolina, who had struggled all season and had a very difficult time with their just finding a go-to person. You know, they didn't have like the Asia Wilson of years past. They didn't have their Camila Cardoso of years past. They didn't have anybody who could do it all. And I don't know if God so much answered their prayer as Gino had prepared them for the NCAAs. He said for years on end that my girls will be ready for the tournament. My girls will be ready for the tournament. He actually should have said my women will be ready for the tournament because they're not girls at 20. My kid will tell you, I am not a child at age 20. I know. I know. I am a young adult. And okay, I agree. They are young adults and will be making decisions that will affect the rest of their entire lives. Okay, we're fine with that. However, believe me, what he said after the game, it means a lot personally, obviously, that we can do this after all these years. These kids, their lives have been changed forever, and I'm glad to be a part of that. UConn, 82. South Carolina, 59. What do we owe that to? We owe that to the most outstanding player, Ozzie Fudd. We think Ozzie Fudd is an extraordinary human being. We think that those 24 points and 17 points from Paige Beckers ruled the day. Also, let's make great mention to Sarah Strong, who is the future of that franchise. 6'2", freshman forward. God, did she deliver? She was all over the place. 25 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists in the finals. That's why Sarah Strong was the #1 recruit in the nation a year ago. There is no better place to be molded than UConn. They are the sports team of the entire state. And I have friends who live in Connecticut who could actually verify that for me. It is all about UConn women's basketball. Now, the other people that I have to mention in this were the likes of Princeton grad transfer Caitlin Chen, as well as Ashlyn Shade. She's sophomore, and that's what they needed. They also held the Gamecocks to just 34% from the field shooting, and only 2 players reached double figures for the Gamecocks. I just love saying that name over and over and over again. Freshman post, Joyce Edwards, as well as Tessa Johnson. Let's just say that after the third quarter, there was no doubt who was going to get that title. They put their foot on the gas. They shot 48% on the day, went 18 for 21 from the charity stripe. The trio of Beckers, Fudd, and Strong combined for 65 points. And also put Gino Auriemma in a class of his own with his 12th national title. So this is something that was so big for the team and so big for everybody involved. Here, I will give kudos to to 2 other players, Tessa Johnson from South Carolina and Malaysia Fulwiley. Those 2 did such a good job in trying to get them. They did their best to spark South Carolina off the bench, but frankly, without the go-to power, they just didn't stand a chance of doing anything. So congratulations to UConn. Did I miss anything, Brian? No. This is the thing. It's I love Gino. I'm glad for his 12th title, and even dozen is a good number by which to retire. But the fact is, Gino is going to keep going as far as his little body will carry him. And he may have lost an inch off the top of his toupee, but he has not at all lost a single step. He's still as sharp as a tack. And interestingly enough, Doug Bruno told me something years ago, and he said, if you're thinking about retirement, you're already there. And I don't think that Doug ever wanted to retire from DePaul women's basketball. I think if illness hadn't stopped him, I think that he would have kept on, until they carried him out feet first, kind of like Ray Meyer. And so, they've had almost the same amount of time in the programs that they coached. Gino Auriemma, Doug Bruno, very good friends, always loved their back and forth at DePaul University. And I can only hope that Jill Pizzotti, who was just named head coach of DePaul basketball, just on a week ago on Thursday, she's had 30 years of experience and 1 year as head coach of DePaul after Doug took sick. And she is a proven winner. She is a relentless recruiter, and she has been a mainstay on the Blue Demon staff for the past 14 seasons. Many of those seasons, DePaul was going to either the NCAAs or the NITs. They had, 17 straight years at the NCAAs. I am predicting that with Jill Pizzotti on board, they are going to make it back to the NCAAs. And I would hope that one of these days they will return to the Sweet 16, the Final Four, God willing. God willing. This woman is on the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame board of directors, and at some point she may be that. She may be in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Last year, she's been a recruiting powerhouse. She led DePaul to a 13-19 record against a rigorous non-conference schedule. And despite being selected 9th in the conference's coaches preseason poll, DePaul went 8-10 in the Big East and finishing 6th for the best record since 2021 to 22. And graduate forward Jory Allen earned a trio of honors, including All Big East First Team, Big East Scholar Athlete of the Year, and the Big East's Most Improved Player. So my sense is that they need to step up their recruiting. They need to sign some of those major players that are coming out of McDonald's All-Americans. You know, it's kind of a disappointment when these major programs, the Paige Beckers going to UConn, DePaul, what Pizzotti needs to do is really claim DePaul as one of the premier programs to go to. And I think that will help them in a great deal in terms of where they're ending up. Because for so long, for so many years, they haven't been able to do that. I'll tell you what I see. Dawn Staley is a perfect example of how to build a program on campus. What she used to do back in the day was, when she first got there, was she would drive around in a golf cart around campus with a bullhorn, trying to fill a 2,500 seat stadium on University of South Carolina's campus. And she would say, come to the games, support your local Gamecocks. And the thing is that she was able to provide such an incredible brand building to the Gamecocks program. And also she made those recruits believe that she could turn them into winners. And that's what made the South Carolina Gamecocks such an incredible force within the women's NCAAs.
Absolutely.
She willed that team. Yep. You should see her. She is so feisty. She is so passionate. And that's actually how Doug drove his teams as well. He's a much quieter and passionate leader, but Jill Pizzotti has the ability to become the kind of leader that Dawn Staley was for South Carolina, because she's fiery as well. She's been on those sidelines going like that to the players. And I could see a day where DePaul is that destination to go to, no matter what happens. And speaking of Dawn, Dawn Staley has solidified her future with South Carolina. She's declaring that she will remain with the program for the rest of her coaching career. And she's in the same way that Mike Krzyzewski was a Duke Blue Devil coach for life, and he was. And it makes me only feel very old to see John Shire in that role, because John Shire I covered when he was a high school student at, what was that, Glenbrook South or Glenbrook North? I can't remember.
Glenbrook North.
Yeah, Glenbrook North. Yes. I remember him when he was an outstanding player there, and I just feel damn old. But he is one of the youngest coaches in college basketball, so I feel better about that. So anyway, where was I going with that? It was it was momentous to see them in the and having such a difficult time against Houston on Saturday night. I was so sad. I was just going, oh my God, I feel so bad for Cooper Flagg and everybody else, but they'll be back. And John Shire will get his shining moment in the men's NCAAs at some point. And I'm fairly sure about that. To wrap this up, which I'm assuming we do have to do at some point, I could keep going on for hours. And I will tell you what makes me the happiest and most satisfied in my career is to see the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame discover wonderful new players and recognize them for their talents. There was a time when women were not even thought of for the Hall of Fame honors. This year, 3 WNBA legends, Sue Bird, Sylvia Fowles, who also is making me feel old because I remember, and you do too, Brian, the day that she was recruited and came to the Chicago Sky. Big Syl. You and she kind of stood eye to eye, if I'm recalling correctly, and she was the best thing. She and Elena Deladonna, who recently announced her retirement, those two made for the most explosive teams in history. And it was only Diana Taurasi and the Phoenix Mercury that actually was able to stop them. And because they had such a great team. So anyway, Sue Bird, Sylvia Fowles, and the legendary Maya Moore. We love our Maya Moore. Yes. 2 Minnesota Lynxes as well in there. If you take a look, Sue Bird, of course, and just a groundbreaker for the Seattle Storm. Those 3 have been the 3 of the most impactful players. And this is the first time that 3 women's basketball players have been inducted into the Hall of Fame in the same class. Yeah. And so congratulations to all 3 of them for an amazing, amazing career and for the impact they've made on generations to come. And, the women, they are a coming. The women, they are a staying. That's what I say, because we've got an incredible group that represents the future of the WNBA, as well as the Unrivaled League and whatever else the groups will come up with next. Who knows? What I want to see is representation always and forever. And next year at the NBA All-Star Game, I want to see that man-woman matchup, the one-on-ones. I want to see it back. I don't give a crap who they pick. You can pick Steph Curry and Caitlin Clark. You could put in, I'm trying to think who else. Maybe it'll be Haley Van Lith in that spot. Who knows? But that should be a permanent part of the NBA WNBA crossover, because that's, as we can see now, women are as on an equal footing with men, at least in opportunity. In salary, we will get there. We will get there. Is it time to sign off at this point? All right. Okay. This is your token female, Allison Moran, speaking. Thanking Brian for his incredible support. Thank you for an hour-long show. Are we doing this again hour-long next week? I expect that your mic will be turned back on next time. I'm praying for that. But thank God for your expressions and your continued support. Don't forget to send me that Defender coffee, I think it's called. But don't forget. Thank you for the incredible gift, and have a great week. Love you.
That now is going to become permanent. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Allison Moran, the final hour of every Thursday is yours. Even though I couldn't communicate with you, we will get it all together. And we better get out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. Football Friday tomorrow. So long, everybody. Lots of football, lots of draft talk. That's tomorrow.
That's
so
tomorrow,
long, folks.